You told yourself this morning was the start, a clean slate, the version of you that finally shows up. But it's dark out now, the list is untouched, and somewhere between the alarm and the evening, you reached for the same verdict you always reach for. I'm just not a disciplined person. It sounds like honesty. It feels like maturity, like you're finally being real about who you are. Take Daniel. Daniel kept a folder on his laptop labeled January. Inside were meal plans, gym splits, and a budget spreadsheet with color-coded tabs. Every single one was abandoned by the second week. He looked at those interrupted attempts and saw a confirmed verdict. He would joke about it at parties, drink in hand. "I've got the discipline of a golden retriever." Everyone laughed, and he laughed loudest. But every laugh drove the nail deeper. He had announced who he was to the room. Now his brain would fight to stay consistent with that announcement, even after the room forgot he'd said it. The phrase, "I'm not disciplined," is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's the cause of the very thing it claims to describe. Your brain decides who you are by watching what you do. It doesn't search for a fixed, buried core. It watches the tape, observing your behavior from the outside, like a stranger would. In 1972, psychologist Daryl Bem called this self-perception theory. We come to know our own character by watching our actions and drawing conclusions. Every time you skip a task and narrate it as just me, you hand your mind a piece of evidence. It builds a case. It does what brains are built to do, keeps you consistent with the story it already wrote. These failures are lines of authorship. You are writing your identity one action at a time. We tend to ignore this tally in favor of a popular myth, that discipline requires a finite fuel tank of raw willpower that eventually runs dry. In 2020, researchers followed 146 people for 90 days as they tried to build simple habits, like saving money or eating vegetables. They expected the strong will to pull ahead. This chart shows the relationship between raw self-control and habit formation. The data proves willpower capacity failed to predict who succeeded. What predicted success was unglamorous consistency. Showing up on flat mornings watched the habit become automatic until the act felt effortless. Discipline lives inside the repetition. You've been checking the wrong gauge for years. Stoic philosophers understood this architectural blueprint for the self 2,000 years ago. Epictetus taught that we are what we repeatedly do, not what we intend, but the actions we take until the doing becomes the self. Marcus Aurelius woke on plenty of mornings feeling heavy, reluctant, and weak. He argued with his blankets, searching for reasons to stay in the warm. He rebuilt his character in the dark, writing private reminders to himself about who he had decided to become. Then he stood up and spent the day proving it. The most powerful man alive refused to let a temporary feeling of weakness cast the deciding vote on his identity. To change, you must reverse the arrow. Self-perception says you read your identity off your behavior, so you must intentionally hand the auditor new behavior to read. Avoid the trap of grand resolutions or announcing a new version of yourself to the room. Public announcements provide a premature hit of pride. Your mind takes that hit and relaxes, satisfied before you've done a single thing. Stay silent. Make the bed. Do 10 minutes of work. Keep the tiny promise you would normally break without a second thought. This forces your brain to log one clean, objective data point against the old verdict. The moment of exercising self-control feels awful. That discomfort is real. This is the toll at the gate. It isn't a sign of a broken character. It's a temporary friction that peaks and then passes. Separate the story in your head from the immediate reality of what your hands do in the next 10 minutes. The old story about your weakness is a rumor you started and chose to believe because it let you off the hook. Identity is a running tally, and you are currently holding the pen. Pick one small promise tonight. Execute it in silence. Let it be the first undeniable ballad for the man you are becoming.